localwebradio.fm, your trusted voices on the Semiahmoo Peninsula.
Welcome to the Mortgage Newscast with Jared Dreyer, brought to you by Dreyer Group Mortgages. Now, here's your host.
Well, Erik Reynolds here, and yes, I am your host. And I'm here with Jared Dreyer, accredited mortgage professional and president of Dreyer Group Mortgages, a proud member of the Verico Brokers Network. And today we'll be talking with Jared about preparing for home ownership, including understanding the monthly cost of home ownership, creating a realistic budget, what budgeting resources are available, and other costs to factor in. Now, before Jared joins us, just as a reminder, if you have questions or require assistance, you can reach Jared's team at Dreyer Group Mortgages at 1-800-687-9020. Again, that's 800-687-9020. Well, Jared, as always, it's great to be talking with you today.
Yeah, Erik, it's always fantastic to talk to you as well.
Jared, I've got a handful of questions here for you this morning. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Let me ask you this. What steps should potential borrowers take to see if they are ready to own a home?
Well, the first thing they should do is make sure that they have their monthly income and expenses are in line so that they can afford a new home, and that's a key aspect. The second one they should do is definitely understand what the monthly costs of home ownership are, and that could be not only just what the mortgage payment's going to be, but also what their extra utility costs are going to be as well.
Well, can you explain why the borrower should prepare a budget?
Well, that's a great question, Erik. And when you're qualifying as a borrower for a mortgage amount, lenders usually use the client's gross monthly income before deductions and their current debts that are reported to the credit bureau. So what you want to do is make sure you have a realistic budget that not only takes your monthly take-home income, but also your fixed and variable costs. And fixed costs, when we're talking about that, is sort of your rent, car loans, student loans, car insurance, any monthly RSP, childcare expenses. And your variable costs are your groceries, your hydro, cable, gas, and leisure expenses.
Well, Jared, what budgeting resources are available for potential borrowers?
There's great resources available. One is, of course, you can use mortgage advisors' expertise. If you talk to different mortgage advisors, they'll be able to prepare budgets for you, plan everything out. There's also great tools, such as the one CMHC has, which is their current household budget tool. And what you want to do is plug in those numbers, review it, and then make sure if it's a time for you to get into the marketplace or not.
Well, Jared, I've got a couple more questions for you, but I need to take a commercial break here because we're up against the clock. So we will be right back with Jared Dreyer, accredited mortgage professional. And when we return, we'll be discussing preparing budgets that work when determining the cost of home ownership. We'll be right back.
The Mortgage Newscast with Jared Dreyer will return after a quick word from our sponsors.
Take control of your financial future with sound investing with Byron Stryloff, Senior Investment Advisor and Chartered Financial Planner with over 30 years of experience on the Business Channel on localwebradio.fm.
If you're struggling with a dental or oral health issue, be sure to catch the Healthy Smiles Oral Health Show with Dr. Norm Ickard on the Health Channel on localwebradio.fm.
Buying or selling a home on the Semiahmoo Peninsula? Catch up on local market conditions on This Week in Real Estate with Lance and Connie Marples from Sutton West Coast Realty on localwebradio.fm. To schedule a face-to-face consultation, you can reach Lance and Connie at 604-538-8888. That's 604-538-8888. And visit them online at www.surreywhiterockhhomes.com. Now, back to the Mortgage Newscast with Jared Dreyer on localwebradio.fm.
All right, we're back with Jared Dreyer, and we're discussing the cost of home ownership. Now, Jared, what other costs should borrowers be aware of when preparing their budget?
Well, the key thing is when they're preparing a budget, they need to go make sure that they are ready for cable costs, hydro costs, your natural gas costs. You also have property tax payments, which can be due on a monthly or annual basis. You have home insurance, and if you're buying a strata, you have condo or strata fees, which you may not be used to these when you've been paying rent.
Okay, Jared, well, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with the listeners before we're out of here?
Well, I think, before any borrower begins this process, what they now got to do is they should, first of all, engage with a mortgage professional and go sit down and go through an actual real budget. And what an actual real budget is going to do is basically allow them to give them what, they're paying out each month, what their net income is, and that way we can work for a mortgage payment that is going to fit within their budget. So not only is it allowed them to pay down the mortgage faster, but it fits within their personal financial goals of what they do. And that's what a mortgage professional do. So they can provide you honest and professional advice for your own situation, because each situation is unique as the individual is.
Well, Jared, thanks for the information and the advice. I'm sure it's been really helpful for the listeners, definitely for myself, but unfortunately we are out of time. Now, if you, the listener, know someone who owns a home and would have questions and would benefit from what we talked about today, go ahead and share this podcast with them. I'm sure they'll thank you for it. Now, if you have mortgage questions of your own or are considering refinancing, you can reach Jared's team at Dreyer Group Mortgages at 1-800-687-9020. Again, that's 800-687-9020. And online on their website at www.dreyergroup.ca. Well, Jared, once again, for myself, for the listeners, thanks so much for the call today.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Eric. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for listening. To learn more about Dreyer Group Mortgages, visit www.dreyergroup.ca. That's www.dreyergroup.ca. Or call 604-536-3802. That's 604-536-3802.
localwebradio.fm